last time you were with Eve, and you learned a way of getting into a melody, getting into the Niggunim. So we'll just do one round of warm up, and then Eve is going to review with you. And we have given you some sheets there, and I'll tell you more about that as we proceed. And meanwhile, a ganz jofrelig. Na la 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 la
I think you should take it up a key.
Up a key. Let's try this one.
or two.
That's also for Purim. A whole year freilich, a whole year happy. Zalman side one should be. It's almost a pity to go from that into the contemplative Niggunim. But I would.
It's very happy to be contemplative when you're freilich. It's the best contemplative there can be.
So those of you who were here last week learned these two, and I wanted to go over them so they wouldn't be forgotten. And those of you who weren't here, listen, and when you feel like you can, hop on. So the first we'll do is Avinu Malkeinu. Ya na na, ya na 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 na, ya na na na, ya na 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 na, ya na 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 na, ya na na Yes, yes. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Ata, Avinu Malkeinu, Ein Lanu Melech Ela Ata. Na 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 na. You remembered a lot from last time. And the other one we did was Reb Owen Karliner's Niggunim.
So the same could be in the same on the same key.
I think. The beginning of which has now just disappeared.
Let's hear it again. Let's start. Slow, slow.
That's what happened. They take your time. And you gotta take it higher.
was a mother who came to Reb Aaron Karlina with her son and said, he is so bad, he is so misbehaving. Rebbe, you must give him some musar, you must really tell him how to do it right.
As the nuns would say, you've got to give him the finger.
That's right. So he asked the mother to leave him alone with the boy, and he would really let him have it. And he took him and he hugged him. And the boy began to cry. And then he called the mother back and said, you see, I told him. When you hear this melody, I know you're gonna be good, it's okay. Yeah. Were there any other Niggunim from last time?
Those are the ones we learned last time.
Oh, wonderful. So we're gonna try and review a few of the other ones. If you remember them. Nicholasburg. That was the first one, I think, that we did.
Mm-hmm. Let me try to guess your key here.
That's good. Now I know the chord, but I forgot how the melody begins. No, it wasn't here. It was at the JCC when we were doing Purim together. We were singing then. Haman was a wicked man and a high and mighty bluff and shushu long ago. And we did all those Purim things. Something about Purim demands that people should also look at the day before Purim. And the day before Purim is called the Fast of Esther. And that's going to be tomorrow. And what we commemorate in the Fast of Esther is how she had said, I'm going to go and see the king and plead, and I might lose my life doing that. I'm willing to risk it, provided that you and all the other people will fast for 3 days. It's a long past 3 days. And it's not quite the way she meant it, like in Ramadan, that you can eat at night when it's dark, that was a 3-day real straight fast. And when people do sometimes a sun dance, they fast
food,
3-4
no water.
days. No food, no water, and constantly in that attitude of prayer and so on. It's a heavy thing. So the understanding was that if we offer this as a sacrifice to God and we say we will mend our ways, because it's not merely to starve yourself, but also to say that the fast is a sign that we will mend our ways. Some of the rabbis said, what did they have to mend their ways? Because they were so eager when the government was this kind of a government that the king was showing off constantly the treasures that he had for 180 days and made people drink and continue to party for 180 days, a party for his officers and stuff like that. So you get a notion of what that was like. And so there were some Jews who also wanted to participate in all these things, and they were eating non-kosher meat, so that the Gemara tells us, and they were drinking wine that they shouldn't drink. So they had to repent from that. In other words, from saying, we are not going to follow anymore the ways of the Persians and the Medians. We are going to do it now like we should, and we will repent for that time. And that creates the possibility for Esther to come. Now she is starved, and we get a sense that she didn't like to have cosmetic people do it, because if you read the Megillah, all the other people who came to the king asked for this cosmetic treatment, for that cosmetic treatment. So here she comes starved. But there is a light shining out from her, and we are told, again by the rabbis who are viewing the whole thing through the lens of our history, to say that when Esther before she went to see the king, she made a psalm which begins with the words, Eli, Eli, lama azavtani. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Now some of you will know those lines from Good Friday, from the crucifixion, that this is what Jesus said. Eloi, Eloi, lama shabachthani, because he was not saying it in Hebrew, which is lama azavtani, but he was saying it in Aramaic. Okay. So that sense of how, can you imagine that abandoned feeling that some people would have when they feel how totally God-forsaken they are? There was a cantor in Vienna. I don't know if you, in the history of the Holocaust, you may have heard about Kristallnacht. Kristallnacht, that was that night in November when they broke all the glass and the crystals in Jewish homes and so on and so forth, but they also dynamited the synagogues at that time. So they had rounded up the rabbi and they had rounded up the cantor, and the cantor was known as having a wonderful voice. So they asked the cantor, would he, the police, the Nazis asked him to sing. Not even asked him, ordered him to sing. So he began with the following. That was a concert piece at one time that went like this. Eli, Eli, lama azavtani. Eli, Eli, lama azavtani. Rachok mi Yeshuati. And I don't know the piece, so I should be able to sing it the way in which it has to be sung. A little bit I'm right, a little bit I'm off, but then, and then it goes on to to a high sound in which there's an outcry reaching God. So that 22nd Psalm, my God, why hast thou forsaken me, was always that sense that a person in great despair would offer. And yet you hear that this is a psalm that Queen Esther recited before she went to see the king. Now, the Baba Rebbe, and in his tradition, they used to sing it like this. And Taka, they sang it even before the Holocaust. They sang it on Tanit Esther, before they got Freilach with Purim. They would sing this one here. And here's the melody. Eli, 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 lama azavtani. Eli, 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 lama azavtani. Today I died, da da dum, I died, da da dum, I died, da da da, I died, da 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 dum, I died, da 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 dum, I da 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 dum, I da 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 dum. Today I died, di da dum, I died, di da dum, I died, da da di dum. Okay. I died, da 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 dum. 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 Did I died, did it dim. I died, did it dim. I died, da da da.
What feeling should the accompanists be thinking of to accompany you on this?
It goes through so many places, because at one point you begin with, you see, as you follow, later on you will follow it in the English. There are several stanzas that I didn't translate. It's a long psalm, the 22nd psalm. But then it comes back and says, but God did answer us, and we were not forsaken completely. So I can imagine that it could be sung sad. It could also be sung defiantly, you know. Where are you when I need you, you know? Why did you forsake me? You put me into this place, and you know, it's like, it can be protest too. So it can be a variety of feelings to it. So let's sing it through once, and then we're gonna try something with the different feelings.
So more specifically, would you like your musicians to be keeping a tempo or leaving it loose?
Aha, very good. I think there is a point in this melody, that calls for tempo in there. But in the beginning, when you begin, that doesn't call so much. But now you can begin to pick up. You asked a very good question.
Shall we now sing in the key of the guitarist?
What?
Sing in the key of the guitarist?
Yeah, that would be nice. Ready? Now with the English. Why did you forsake me? I cry by day and night, am burdened by my plight. Why don't you answer Why did you push me far away from where you are? Why don't you answer when I cry on the other line? All those who see me mock me, all the thugs attack me, they hurt others too, are not afraid of you. Why don't you answer when I cry on Adonai? You do not hold your anger, you will not scorn us longer. All the world's peoples you will treat as equals. You do answer when we cry, Baruch Adonai.
Go ahead.
No, you know the story.
But I don't, that's the problem. I'm trying to remember the story behind what he wants me to tell, and I don't. But basically, we both remember Jean Houston telling the story of her mentor, Margaret Mead, seeing her in a room pounding that stick she used to carry around on the floor and yelling at God and saying, "I will not have it." Which is a sentiment a lot of us are feeling about many things these days. So I understand why you wanted me to tell that story.
Right, because why don't you answer when I cry? There is a point that we feel sometimes to be able to express. You see, most people have that notion that to the Lord God himself, you must know how to speak right, properly, vouchsafe unto us and bestow us, please, right? And when you feel something strong, how are you gonna deal with that, And the sense that you have a right to shy, you have a right to do it, and that model that you have here, as it says, Eli, Eli, lama zaftani, rachok mi yeshuati divrei shagati. How far away is my outcalling to you from your responding for answering me? Elokai, ekra yomam velotane. I call you by day, you don't answer, velaila, and at night, velodumiali, and I don't stop crying out, and I still don't hear. And meanwhile, and you hear there's a certain kind of sarcasm in that, Ve'ata kadosh, yoshev tehilot Yisrael. And you, Holy One, you are sitting on the praise of Israel. So why don't you answer, if it's this way? And then they come and say, B'cha batchu avotenu batchu v'tefaltemo. Our parents trusted you, and you saved them. Elecha za'aku v'nimlatu. They cried out to you, and they were saved. B'cha batchu v'lo boshu. They trusted in you, and they were not ashamed to trust in you. So I remember, by the way, this one of them that got away. We have been collecting Niggunim, and here's another one from before the Holocaust, which goes like this. No, the melody ran away. B'cha batchu avotenu, batchu vatefaltemo, batchu vatefaltemo, elecha za'aku v'nimlatu, elecha za'aku v'nimlatu, b'cha batchu v'lo boshu, Bodchu velo boshu, and that's not the melody. I just made it up. It didn't. I was trying to get into it, you know, but I didn't. So it'll take. This is the one that's going to come in the middle of the night, and I'll put on my little machine color, and next time I see you, I'll do it the right way. This is not the right way. You know,
These live by the bedside, these little recording devices.
when Eve and I are doing this together, so it's not only we're teaching you to sing, you're getting entertained too, right? I'm happy about it, especially before Purim. I don't know how to do this for you in English, but on Friday when I was, we were having a session studying together, and I came across such a thing that's called a Purim Kiddush, which begins with one line, and then it takes a word that is connected with that word and moves from that word into a whole other phrase that has nothing to do with that, you know? So, Yom Hashishi Vaychulu Hashamayim Mesaprim Kevod El. But if you don't know the original text, then you don't see where the flips are taking place. But I would want to do something for Purim by taking some songs and mixing them up like Victor Borge did. The Blue Danube Waltz. No, it's not that one. Blue Danube Waltz is Strauss. He called it the Ständchen, the serenade waltz. So he took one phrase from this and a phrase from the other and sort of stuck them together. When Mozart did stuff like this, he also took So he was weaving together those two themes, you know, making it come out differently. So one of the things that people used to do in shul, since on Shabbos you make a kiddush, a Purim kiddush was this kind of salamagundi of sentences that were put together. And I could imagine that it would begin, some enchanted evening, the evenings. You know, so that you move from one text to another text, but together with the melody. I wish I could do that, because that would be really good Purimdik. Okay.
Here's maybe an example. It'll be something like, imagine all the people get ready. There's a train coming round the mountain when she comes.
Right. So that's what we would do Purim. We still want to go over a few other ones. And if you would find me the Lachado di Adon Olam, he prepared me a menu.
I tried.
Now I don't remember how that goes.
Okay, let's see if this is a good key for you. I think it is.
Right. Na da 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 da. We gotta go a little higher, or else I won't be able to go to the bottom. Okay. Very good. If you know the words of Adon Olam, you can sing it with me the next time around. As you can hear, it is a nice waltz, and it makes you inside to dance 2, 3, 1 at a time.
So in honor of St. Patrick's Day,
Yeah?
All sorts of musical things are going on at Conor O'Neill's, and you can get really good stout.
That I don't know.
Yes. I discovered that Adon Olam works perfectly with Bridget O'Malley. Yes. When it's Bridget O'Malley, it goes something like, "Oh, Bridget O'Malley, you left my poor heart shaking. With a hopeless desperation, I'll have you to know." But anyway, it works perfectly. To do, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra, Leid Naso V'chefzo kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra.
I like Bridget, yes. Yeah. How's the other one that we heard on that?
Oh.
We gotta do the Dvorak.
Yes.
This is a major key. Let's try it with our C major. Na ra ri ra 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 di ra 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 di ra 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 ri ra 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 da ra 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 Wasn't that nice? Let's do it again. A little higher, please.
On Eyal's face. Of such complete lostness.
What's going to happen next? What are they going to
I think we should do it a cappella.
Okay. La 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 la.
This half go again.
La 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 la. Yeah. So.
Can you tell the difference between Amalek and Haman at this point?
That's right. Purim has arrived already.
My face hurts.
Yeah, very good. That's one of the Tversky minor.
It's a new key.
Yam da 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 ya da 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 yam da 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 yam da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya 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 yam da da ya da 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 yam da 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 yam da da could you imagine, you're not sitting in chairs like so, but you're sitting on benches and there's a table and you're banging at the table at the same time. That's how it goes. Like that. Let's see, we're going to switch a little bit. Go back over some Niggunim that we had from before. Let's try the Tahir Libenu. This time you won't be able to say that I didn't follow the plan.
There was a plan?
I got a menu. On Shabbos, part of the prayers that we say, we don't ask on Shabbos for the things that we ask during the week, you know, for a healing or for a good harvest and stuff like this. But we do ask, please purify our hearts so that we might serve you sincerely, so we might serve you in truth. And then the next line goes, so that our life should not be wasted, that we shouldn't give birth to chaos. And who is then, it goes on, who is a person who can show us, who so respects God that he can show us the way that we should choose to go? Because we need that, because we don't want to go astray and we don't want to waste our time in life. So the melody builds up along with those words. But when you get that sense of the refrain, Leman lo nigalarik, Leman lo nigalarik, velo nelet la behala, oela behala, Leman Leman lo nigalarik velo neilek la behala. The melody for these words isn't the only one that there is. Reb Nachman had a melody for V'tar Libeinu. Let me see if I can remember it. It doesn't come right now, but there's another one that I do remember. V'taher libeinu le'ovdecha, 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 le'ovdecha be'emet. V'taher libeinu le'ovdecha, le'ovdecha, le'ovdecha be'emet. V'taher libeinu le'ovdecha, 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 le'ovdecha be'emet. Dun dun dun, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun. V'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu le'avdecha be'emet. V'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu le'avdecha be'emet. Ta-da, da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. Just for the fun. How many hinematovs do we know? Okay, let's try.
Which key you're doing? Hold on.
Eyal, you pick a key.
Yeah? Really?
Nematov טוב בסנס, הנה מה טוב מנעים שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב מנעים שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב מנעים שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב מנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. Hallelujah, hallelujah, something like hallelujah. No, something like this goes. Wait a second, what's another one? Shevet Achim, that's number 3. Hinei ma tovu manayim, Shevet Achim gam yachad, Hinei ma tovu manayim. Hinei ma tovu manayim, shevet achim, achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tovu manayim, shevet achim, achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. La 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 la. That's a neighbor. La 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 la. Once more. Pick another key of low. Oh, how good and oh, how pleasant it is to brothers and for sisters to dwell as one. Hinei, hinei, matov, matov, ohanayim, shevet, shevet achim gam yachad. I shall dwell in God's house, you shall No, it doesn't want to come.
I have an Ecuadorian man.
Go ahead.
From Ecuador?
Sure.
Take a little listen. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. והנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנה, הנה מה טוב ומנה, הנה מה טוב ומנה, הנה מה טוב ומנה, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. Well, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. היי שולם שולם עליכם, שולם שולם עליכם, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. שלום שלום עליכם, שלום שלום עליכם, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. שלום, שלום עליכם, שלום, שלום עליכם, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. שלום, שלום עליכם, שלום, שלום עליכם, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. That was the seventh one. Now, let's see. Anyone remember another one?
Yeah, Cindy does. Well, we used to do a call and response. Hine,
הנה
ma tov,
מה טוב
uma, naim,
נעים,
shevet achim,
שבת אחים
gam yachad. For me to sing, it's like. Well, thank you very much. Even the vocal cords. Yeah, that was it. And then the Yellow Roads of Texas. That I can't remember the tune of that, but that was always a big one in camp.
How do you do hine ma tov to this tune?
I just
Jacques, guess that one. I can't remember it, but I know he has his
remember another Hine Matov?
Jack Kessler one, you know what I'm talking about? Name is Atzilut Tzili.
I'll have to check it out for next time.
Ruth has one. It's on the tip of her tongue. Something. Uma, 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 naim. That's the only part that I remember. It's just at the tip of my brain.
Well, you see, all the summer camps had varieties of Hine Matov Umanayim, so these were wonderful. I think we want to go and sing a little bit slower now, one or two more, and then I think we're going to make it an evening. You were asking before about the Samachta. בחגיך והיית השמח ושמחת בחגיך והיית השמח ושמחת בחגיך והיית השמח ושמחת בחגיך והיית not a neighbor.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
And the words mean, "V'samachta b'chagecha v'hayetem ach samech," very good for Purim. And rejoice in your holidays and be only happy.
We're going to sing this one again, the Eli, 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 so that we can just remember that. Because it's a good one to know, especially when you feel that you would like to be able to do a complaint also.
This is the Niggunim for registering a complaint with the Rebbeinu Shalom.
Eli, 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 why did you forsake me? I cry by day and night, am burdened by my plight. Why don't you answer when I cry? Anna Adonai. Our parents trusted you. They found you good and true. Why did you push me far away from where you are? Why don't you answer when I cry? Anna Adonai. All those who see me mock me, all the thugs attack me. They hurt others too, are not afraid of you. Why don't you answer when I cry? Anna Adonai. You do not hold your anger, you will not scorn us longer. All the world's peoples you will treat as equals. You do answer when we cry.
If people weren't using English, how would this Niggun go?
Just Eli, 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 lama azavtani, rachok mishuati, divrei shagati, tiri yadai delete, yadai delete, ma'ahiram. That's how I heard the story. Every Purim they would tell it at the court of the Baba Rebbe, how he and his son Naphtali who was the last Bobova who died before the current one, the brother of the current one. They were on the second floor of a building where the Nazis had locked them up. And they knew already that this was not going to be a good thing. So he went and tied his son, who was still very young at that time, with his prayer sash, with his gautel. He tied it to himself and jumped out of the building to a branch and managed to hold on to the branch and make his way down.
This is talking a miracle because Hasidim weren't notorious athletes.
No, but by the way, when he was younger, the Bobova was, you could see some pictures of it. He was pretty good that way. His father was killed by the Nazis. His father was a Rebbe at that time, and he was next in line to be Rebbe. And there was a chassid, and he encouraged that chassid to jump too. First he didn't want to, but the chassid did jump and made it too, because, listen, if you don't make it this way, your life isn't worth very much. So they managed, and they ran away into something like the forest in the ditch. And there in the ditch, they were singing it the whole night. And the man, the other chassid, was saying, Rebbe, what are you doing this for? They'll catch us. And he says, I gotta sing this. And so they made their way through the night, and they were not found, despite the fact that they sent out some dogs and so on and so forth to try and find them. They were not found, and he made his way, and he came to the United States, yet just very close at the beginning of things.
And the other chassid?
Huh?
The other chassid?
The chassid made it too. Yeah, so that's how that's why they would sing this song as a remembrance, because during that difficult night they were singing the whole thing.
Has anybody
gotta do
here
the
ever been in
mushrooms.
real danger? I'm asking if anybody here has ever been in a situation of real danger where you weren't sure. So imagine that, and let's sing this once more. Eli, 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 lama sabachthani. In English or Hebrew?
Just do Eli Eli. Lama sabachthani. May you have a safe return to home. Tomorrow evening we gonna read Megillah and hope that you will come. You bring your grogger and the shalom too, and make donations to everyone who needs it. Yum, on Tuesday morning, there's another reading of the Megillah, and we'll be doing that at Bonnet, beginning 6:30 in the morning to start davening Shacharis, and at about 7:30 will be the time when we read the Megillah, so that people will be able to do what they have to do during the day. And in the afternoon, you gotta have a festive meal.
You won't miss it.
And that's the time when you should get so pashnushkit.
At 6:30 in the morning?
No. In the afternoon, when you come home. So you wouldn't know the difference between blessed be Mordechai and cursed be Haman. So may you have a good, safe way home. Amen.